Hello, everyone. I'm Marco. Welcome to the Convo.
We started already. Okay. Hello, everybody. This is the Convo. Marco, thank you for the introduction. We all know you want to be the host, but I will not give you that position.
We can share it, okay?
So,
all the hosts.
But I'm the host. I'm the host because I think so.
Yeah, host the
Okay.
most.
Exactly. I'm host because I host the most.
Alright, so I am Peter. Thank you for letting me introduce myself again.
Hey, Peter. See, because you're your own person. So how was your weekend, guys? This is the Convo. We talk about other
really
things
nice.
than just,
It was pretty nice. Pretty good weather. Finally, some sunny days coming by to Poland. So I'm pretty happy because of that.
Okay.
Some vitamin D.
Yeah.
I'm part of Rotary, and we had and it's a charity service, and I suggest anyone and everyone to participate. But we had our integration night where we got a new member, and we drank and smoked some shisha, and had a good time.
That's just unhealthy. Okay.
So is life sometimes.
Don't promote unhealthy.
So let's talk about the most important thing, which is the burning of books by a Polish priest in Koszalin.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter was one amongst.
My biggest
Wait, let me ask the question.
All right.
Okay, so from what we know, to all the viewers, that a Polish priest, the church actually, the church representatives in Koszalin have burned several catalogs of literature or also other things that they believed that possessed certain ill wills in the sector of sorcery, and that it could drive to evil and that could influence children. Now, there's a bunch of irony here, because when it comes to priests and children, that's a very interesting topic when it comes to, this kind of situation. So, what do you guys think? And choose who goes first amongst yourself. Why do you believe that in today's time in Poland, which is legally a secular state, the church believes, and let's say this isn't an action of the Vatican, but this is just the action of a particular small church in Koszalin. Why do you think that such a response to ideas, essentially, Hello Kitty and Harry Potter, are being met with burning of books? Some people compared this to the 1930s burning of literature and ideas in Germany. But why do you think that things like this still happen? Is this the correct response to ideas that you don't agree with?
Well, honestly, in my opinion, always burning books end up badly. That's always start to something. And people recognize this, rely on the given facts from the past. And for sure you remember, hence you are Polish, the really popular among some people, the priest Natanek, that was,
Yes.
I think, his name.
He
Was first who criticized the Harry Potter and all of these books that they are made of the devil. And actually I was once consulting with few priests about these given books. And honestly, the most favorable, it's the Lord of the Rings, which they are keep claiming that it's the many symbols coming from the Bible. But coming back to the topic, it's I think the church, which should represent the tolerance, love for the others, shouldn't come back to the times of burning something, because we know how it ended up for them during the Middle Ages, that the humans withdrew the Catholic Church, left this during the era of Renaissance, awakeness, enlightenment. So I think that's a pretty bad move, especially in Poland, that conservative country criticized in the international spheres.
That's true.
For
Marco.
that.
I think it's a little funny to me, because if you look at the picture, it's like 5 books, maybe 10 books that get burnt, and then it's a mask, an African mask, and some other
Like shamanism.
shaman stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 kids that look so sad. 2 of the I don't know, priests, helpers, kids that look
Missionaries or whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's stupid, honestly. You're getting publicity, obviously. You're getting people to talk about it, but you're in the end, like you're kind of getting two sides. You're getting the people who support you, and you're getting the people who think you're crazy and idiotic. And so I don't see how you don't see the priest really making comments defending his actions. They're just saying, well, we don't believe in these books, and they're creating these bad morals for kids.
Should the church be out of pop culture and entertainment of people?
I think no, because
So
in my
sure,
opinion, the church it's all encompassing. It tells you how to live your daily life. It should leave you a good example. There's an interesting quote by a German poet, which is kind of funny in itself. Heinrich Heine, in 1823, he says, "Where books are burned, in the end, people will also be burned."
Yeah.
So
That's I'm totally
from
agreeing
German.
with.
There's maybe
That's what I am agreeing like fully with you. It's like the Catholic, like I'm not saying the Catholic Church, religion shouldn't intervene with our social life. While we are looking on our like what we doing in our like bed, or what we doing, what we are reading, what we are watching. That's our personal stuff.
but God
like
is
that.
always watching.
Yeah, but the thing
And
is
Santa
like
Claus.
the religion just showing you some moral standards which are actually claimed by the scientists that they are also we are claiming them naturally, and we don't need to this religion. Religion it's some sort of like the fundaments which are for the different nations or for the different social groups, but at the end it shouldn't intervene with our personal life and shouldn't force and shouldn't speak up in the political sphere, let's we say, as well, because that's somehow also in Poland might be recognized as the political move, as the like showing that we are a conservative country, as we are not accepting those kind of books which they are popular among the Western society. That's like so typical, like that's already the part of the pop culture in which we are living in.
I mean, I think there. Do you think that? So you said that the church should be out of our individual life, but does that also transfer into our life in the community, or is there something different that the church can influence the community?
I think if you're a follower of any religion or any system, even like your parents, let's say, my thinking is like those beliefs that are placed onto you, those values that you hold to, adhere to, should not be a threat to, say, a priest, or these books shouldn't be a threat to you, because your values, your teachings should tell you if it's okay to read these books or if it's not okay to read these books. So by burning them, by starting this conversation, I don't see anything that the priest has done to help his cause. If anything, he's further alienated himself and his followers.
The fact is that like about Polish people right now talking whole world from Malaysia news to United States about this fact, and it's not great presentation of our nation among the international society. So I would say that's like it's just bad advertisement for our country.
Well, I think there's certainly a degree of flaws that the Polish church has, but I think that it does not represent the fundamental principles of Catholicism, basically. And of course, I think that the Catholic Church right now is facing several obstacles which it's dealing with, and which they fail to acknowledge too.
That's what made it worse. Yeah.
And the fact that they believe that their divine sort of protection, the cloak of protection, because they're the word of God's essentially, they're passing on the messengers of God, as they like to claim themselves. I think that many of their crimes, essentially, even against humanity, because pedophilia is a serious issue.
I mean, even the Crusades, like when we.
Well, yeah, but okay, but Piotr, we're talking about
presence.
We're talking about. Here's the thing.
Being able to pay off your sins.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to Crusades, obviously there are bad things, but we cannot talk about something that happened, more than 1,000 years ago, as a representative of what's happening today.
Mm-hmm.
Every 500 years, Christianity is facing some sort of challenge. So we have year 0 when it was created. Then 500 years there was the Great Divide between the orthodoxy and between the Christians. Then there was also the reforms. Then there was the also further division, and in the 1500s we had
Calvin.
we had Calvin, and we had people like Martin Luther and the Anglican Church. And now I don't think that this is gonna be now it's the time, actually, every 500 years. So now in the second millennia we have that space for it. I don't think that the changes regarding to like pedophilia and stuff are necessarily something that are hindering the chances of Catholicism. They're damaging certainly the institutions, the people. But I don't think it's gonna be. I think that it would have to be something way bigger.
I would say that like church right now is facing the threat coming from the liberal side, I would call this, and also from the conservative, from the side of pedophilia, accusing them for doing that. And everyone who has a power wants to sustain this power, and church grabbing everything what it can to sustain this power, because with each year they are losing that. With each year people are like withdrawing from the religion, and I'm not talking just about the Catholic Church, I'm talking like among all religions, like people starting to be more secular. It started from the countries, right now it's coming on the personal level, on the individual level. So I would say they realizing what they are losing, and they're trying to somehow gain this, but that's not the way what they are doing right now.
I agree with everything you're saying. Like there is evidence that's shown that most developed countries are becoming more secular, while countries that have lower development, less income, are more religious because it's a harder life to live as underdeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easier to believe in something that your life right now isn't easy, but after your afterlife is going to get easier. And like you said, Adam, you have so many evidence from Copernicus to Martin Luther that the church, as the Catholic Church, is just such a slow institution for change.
Every religion is. It's not just Catholic Church. Like each religion, it's like it needs like really slow process for each changes.
But the Roman Catholic Church is not the Christianity. It's part of Christianity, but it's not the whole. That's why there's Lutheran churches. That's why there's Protestant churches, because people still believe that there's Jesus and God, and they just don't want to pray as the Roman Catholic Church tells you to pray as.
But they're Christians nonetheless.
Yes.
So they believe in fundamental figures
but
of
this
the
person,
religion.
this priest is part of the Roman Catholic.
Yes.
And he's not. Okay. Yeah, so it's just, again, another example of how the Roman Catholic Church as an institution deals poorly with these type of
Well, I would agree on
changing.
that. It is institution because it's governed it has an own country, Vatican. It's governed by the Pope, which is actually the last monarch, the real monarch, in Europe. So, and he's the head of the
Monaco?
of the religion. No, but Monaco, it's still like they
What,
are.
talking about the Pope?
No, yeah, talking about
King.
the Pope.
He's both the Pope and the King of Vatican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So and he's the last, actually, the real monarch, which have full power.
it's not constitutional or
it's not
just
the
representational.
Representational area. He's really then the disputes, international disputes, are also held in the Catholic Church. So I would agree on this fact what you mentioned, that the Catholic Church is really institutionalized. But as I said, it is sort of a country with the foreign ministry. They had also the diplomacy.
Yeah. And they have the money,
And
banking system.
And that's the problem, because in this kind of huge system, it's easy to hide such as given fact as pedophilia, as child abuse, as despotism, as the money and everything. Vatican during the Jean Paul II, before, it was famous for as the washing money. Bank of the Vatican was washing the money of the mobs.
I mean, I think though,
So-
when it comes to John Paul, who was obviously my favorite pope,
The people's Pope.
but I think he and even Benedict XVI, the German,
After him?
yeah,
Okay.
they were still representative of the, I think, a very conservative part of the Christian society. And now with Pope Francis, we see a lot of this kind of libertarian kind of approach that, for example, Christianity, the Pope being the voice of God here on earth, being the messenger. I think by him saying that, having a lot more liberal attitude towards things like homosexuality, I mean, it's okay because the society thinks that way, but you as the Pope should not say that these things are, okay, because they're not in regards to the fundamental principles of Christianity.
But there is like any fundamental principles for like to say that homosexual is bad. There is any fundamental like things also for the priest marriage. It's like it's just the law of the Catholic Church. That's it. It's any written in any Bible that the man shouldn't be with a man. It's any like commented. Like I mean, it's in the Old Testament. If I'm like
Leviticus 21:13,
or
to be exact.
Or that a man can't. A man is the only one who can lead a congregation.
Exactly. Yeah,
No,
that's the Old Testament. But the New Testament, that's like such a like the leading path for the Catholic Church. And I would say that like when we are looking for the persons as Jean Paul II or the Benedict, we also have to remember from where they were coming from and what they witnessed. They witnessed cruel of the Second World War. They had different principles as Jean Paul II was fighting for the freedom in Eastern Europe. He was the first pope which actually traveled with the peace mission and with hope to change something in the international system, as Benedict became way more revisionist when it comes to the sphere of Vatican, and now it comes the Francis II, which is the I would say the Pope which is like really open to young generation, open to this new thinking, open to the liberal thinking, I would say. So,
is there anything you would guys change currently in the in Christianity right now?
I'm an atheist, so
well, but
I feel like
you gotta believe in something.
Well, here's the thing: when you're here's the thing: if you're an atheist, I'm not gonna lob the Bible at you because it's something you do not believe in. I mean, you believe that that there's the concept of the Bible and it has its own followers. But here's the thing: the worst you can do when talking to an atheist or talking to a religious person when you're an atheist is lobbing facts that they do simply not agree. So I will not talk to you about Bible verses because you will not acknowledge them.
I would say nice stories.
It's a nice idea, but if you could change one maybe human factor within religion, what would it be? Because humanity essentially is the channel through which we are capable of understanding.
I don't know if this answers your question, but I'm trying my best.
Sure,
I would say to be more open and accepting of other ideas.
I would say that the biggest advantage to change among all the religions, it's understand who are the secularists and look forward polarization from the social life and the religion life, because for so many years, like before, the Catholic Church was really attached to the policy of the given country, so before even the king was given by the God. And right now, and it was the political sphere which church need to derive from. And right now we are facing another fact that they have to withdraw also from our social lives and make for them sphere, if you just want, in their religion life. If you want to have such as atheists don't need to have this life, but some people do because they explain this as giving hope for the next life. That's how they're explaining this right now. So I would say what I would change, it's that church shouldn't be an institution.
What should it be?
It should be just the place in which you can find this calm and you can go, you can talk to your own God, to yourself. It should be just a place. It shouldn't be institution. It should be a place which represents your religion, and that's it. It shouldn't be institution which somehow force you to do given facts. You can believe in them or not. They are just giving you ability to acknowledge them, but don't force them. Don't force all the people to do that.
But
I know what you're gonna claim, that then you don't know what you believe in. But I think everyone, we imagine God when you are Christian as a Jesus, as a loving Father, but actually each person pray to this God differently, as each person asking for the next day differently. I think like it's really personal when it comes to the topics of religion, and I think it shouldn't like ever be it shouldn't ever intervene with our life.
Well, I mean, I would say actually that I don't think we should be blaming the church 100% for all the things that are, because I think it's also, we're not slaves of the church. We have our own voice. It's not like what the priest does we say. I mean, at least we the I would like to say the people who have reason. I mean, I think it's the church abusing the fact that a lot of the people devoted to the church will listen to them and therefore act upon whatever they say. But a lot of the people go to Mass because it's their way of just relaxing. It's their way of talking to God. There's some priest talking, there's some choir, there's some singing, but I think the person in the church, I like to think, at least that's what my family does, is when we go to church, we of course we listen to the Bible readings and stuff, but we also go there for ourselves. We don't go there to have this illusion that, oh, look, everyone, see, we're good Christians. I don't think that's what a lot of people do.
No, I think like what a lot of people do, it's just going there and like just repeated everything what crowds do, and that's it, and that's really
That's
bad.
true. People do that.
That's not believing in, like, that's not their religion. That's like, I mean, like, it is sort of religion. Religion, like, you can believe in anything. Like in our times, like you have also religion of flying monster spaghetti, and people believe in that. And like I don't mind. Like if you do believe in this, if you don't intervene with my life, then I'm fine. Like do whatever you want.
Everyone does have a certain concept that reflects religion. Like Marco, I guarantee that you have a certain ultimate value that you believe in that plays the role that a deity would perform, right?
I don't understand how. I mean, yes.
You have a certain value
we're all
that you
instinctually born with certain values, like to be good, to not kill. But I don't see how I don't really hold anything or anyone to a degree of a deity.
No, I mean it's like you have a set of values for yourself, an ultimate value at least, that functions as a deity for me, right? Like I believe in a greater power than myself, and you have something that reflects something like that on your own, right? Like you have a certain ultimate value that you believe in.
See, this is where it's difficult. It's like you're saying, I believe in this higher power, but I don't. For me,
no,
like,
I believe in a higher power.
Yeah, that's what you.
Yeah, that's what I'm
you're
saying.
I believe in this. For me, like I can't.
But
I don't comprehend that because I just don't believe that there is this higher power, all knowing, all controlling, all making.
Okay.
So for me, like. You tell me, you there must be something you put at that.
No, what I'm saying is you have
pedestal, which I don't have.
No, I'm not saying.
For me, it's just.
I'm not saying something exists for. What I'm saying is that you have something similar to what I have, meaning that you also put your belief into something. For example, let's say science. You believe that there's something out there in space, right? That's.
Yeah,
because you believe in it,
level,
right?
But it's lower level of believing. Like
no, I think it's not. I think it's a fact of believing.
No, like
there's no evidence to it, but you believe in it.
There is like plenty of evidence.
There is plenty of evidence for Christianity as well. Like so, I'm just saying the whole Bible is an evidence, right?
Yeah, but the Bible is just like, I think like that's the problem. Like people interpret wrong a Bible, like too literal.
Well, luckily Christians have a Bible 2.0, right? Because the first Bible was the Old Testament, which was pretty gruesome. In a way that it had pretty violent, it had slavery in it, it had violence and all that.
Like the God there, it was like the bad father, like which is like, you're gonna do something bad, I'm gonna treat you bad.
I mean, here's what I think. I think the Bible is a bunch of stories put together that that are supposed to help you make you be a better person. It's not a recipe for being a good person. You have to read this. You have to interpret it on your own with a certain set of morality and stuff like that. And my question to you is, do you believe that morality exists without religion?
Yes.
Yes.
How so?
Yes. Because it's things you're like nurtured to learn not to do. There's things you're just instinctually.
But then it's just your opinion.
No.
Because some
we're
people,
communal animals.
a
Of course
person. Okay, so why do animals kill each other in nature?
People have killed each other because of over the Bible. Like that's
Yes, I
Yeah,
know, and
that-
and look
no,
how
but
far we
like-
went from then.
No, but like
have we really?
Adam,
Yeah.
Adam,
I mean, come on,
you're claiming something which is like really personal. I would say, like
No, I'm just
I mean,
saying.
like the moral standards which humans have, they're really like scientific proven that they are like we are getting them from the living in the society in which we are living.
Yes,
Yes.
It's
as
like
society. Okay,
it's
but
from the behavior of like of the society.
okay, but
And
you're
we stop-
assuming that because
Yeah.
so our GoPro is out, but that doesn't matter. So no, what I'm saying is that there's because we live in a certain society which is brought up on certain values, we therefore instinctively think like, oh, this is the way to go.
Do you think there was no values before the Bible came into existence? That
Before
people were
no, I'm not saying before the Bible. I'm saying before religion.
that there's no values.
People, well, they were there's historical evidence that people had a certain, not deity, but a certain concept that they would
And that would stop
acknowledge
people
as
from
bigger.
doing bad things is this deity, and not just being
I'm not saying it
understanding
stopped
of
people
simple human communal system
No.
of living, that you wouldn't do bad
No,
things,
no.
that you need a deity not to do bad things.
Not at all. A deity was there to explain certain things to yourself because you were unable to understand
Yes.
it. That's what I'm saying. And so,
But why do you keep going back? Well, if you don't have a moral,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just asking: is it possible to have reason, and is it possible to have morality without religion? And that's not a question targeting you because you're an atheist, as you said. I'm just asking: is there a possibility? I believe that it would be very difficult to, because that means then it's your own personal hierarchy of things.
but
It's not. For example, for me, I'm not gonna kill because you're not supposed to as a good Christian, and because my personal belief is I shouldn't do that. But it's the core of that is because I'm told not to by something I cannot explain. And now it's easy for people to say like, oh, I shouldn't kill because it just feels wrong or something. Yes, but why does it feel wrong? Because you're giving value to something, and that value is essentially your understanding. It's basically your free will that is given to you. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I would say we're all like, it's easy to come to a good reason why not to do bad things, steal, kill,
Of course.
be good to thy neighbor, whatever you want to moral rule or obligation you want to put up there.
Yeah.
It's because we're all living in a communal system.
Yep.
And to kill, to steal, you be isolated from that community. It's never good to be isolated.
Exactly.
So, or I can give you another hundreds of reasons. Like, that's probably a good person. Like,
Yeah,
why
but
would
we could like from here drive again like to this topic which I proposed, like what is the future of this international liberal order?
Mhm.
Like how it's gonna look like in the future, like because right now it looks like it doesn't work so well like on the society as we thought, as we hoped, like after the Cold War. It was huge hope presented even by the Fukuyama, his famous book End of History.
Yeah, but his thesis failed though.
Yeah, and his thesis failed, exactly, which proves that the international order proposed by libertarians, it's not working so perfectly as we thought at the beginning when we are like claiming all of this, because like among the democracies it was spreaded like after the Second World War since then. So what do you guys think about it? Is it not just a crisis of the religion? Is it not just a crisis of certain countries, but it's a crisis like among the world scale, that we are looking for other solutions, and like and I think what was proven, it was the Brexit and the changes in the UK, the US elections, totally unexpected president after the presidency of Obama. No one thought that the president such as Trump might be chosen, and he got chosen, and he's like really he have huge support in United States. That's I think like something which like ask many questions, and like many analysts trying to answer them, and like we are looking for the answers. As mean like advantages coming from the East, from Asia, from Russia, like opening new sea tracks over the north, like that, which gonna give the potential for the Russia.
I think
I'm just waiting for the word.
I mean, you can make a counter.
China.
Okay, there it is.
We should get that. We should have a segment.
China
sponsored.
count.
Hey, if any Chinese restaurants want to sponsor us, or we'd be much appreciated.
I remember
talk a lot more about China.
Small digression. I remember I was playing some computer games the other day, and there I was playing like some Fortnite kind of game, so like some battle royale, and so it spawned me with some random person, and the guy was like, "Oh, hello," and I'm like, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm from China," and I'm like, "Oh, ni hao," and he's like, "What? No way, you know Chinese?" And I'm like, "Wow, the people
No,
are."
but that's the worst when you're gonna when you are in China and you're gonna start speaking to them for example, you're gonna start saying ni hao. They are really thinking right away. Either you are out of the space and they won't talk to you and they're gonna just run away. Either they're gonna be stuck talking to you in Chinese and you're gonna just say I just know one word. So but
I went to school with some Chinese, and I say the majority is like that. They're very quiet. They keep to themselves. They keep in their group.
Yeah, because
but then you have a couple exceptions where I got to meet and know really cool people. So I mean, it's 1 billion people. You're gonna have every type of person.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they are champions in the Olympic Games, because they have ability to choose from the millions D1, which is for example the tallest one as the NBA player, one of the most famous ones.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
Yeah, but that's come on, it's already 10 years ago. But
wait, hold on, but
let me
did you guys know that Russian women prefer Chinese men because they don't drink as much? I mean, they don't drink they don't drink as much to get drunk and be violent, and because they are not violent.
This is it. There you go, Russian men.
So
not being drunk and violent.
Yes, I think it's a message to everyone. I
there
think.
You go,
but no,
here's
actually my question. Why is alcohol being sold in? Why is alcohol legal to such amounts, basically?
Legalize weed.
And weed is not legal. No, and I'm serious. Think about it. You go to. No, this is something I was thinking. I like the unserious part of the convo, because there was.
How much more time we got? Because I can talk.
What time is it? By the way?
Right now we have to put the.
Okay, we don't have time, but this is we're out of time, but we can keep this for the next conversation.
Yeah.
So basically, my question to you is, why don't we just give the Polish peasants, say this is the seed from God, plant this and you're gonna feel good?
There is a church in the United States, I believe that.
What is it, like Rastafarianism?
No, I don't know what they're called, but I watched a documentary on it, and they're like, well, this is part of our religion because it's a seed from God, and you can't say we can't smoke it, government, so it's freedom of expression. And they've gotten away with it.
So if you were to legalize one thing in Poland, what would it be? Because we have to finish up, because there's a new audition after us. Next time, let's not talk about news, unless it's something big. Let's talk about funny stuff. So one thing you would legalize in Poland.
Right.
Weed.
Okay.
Now I have the.
You can say the same thing. Doesn't stop you. You can say crack.
No, don't go into hard drugs.
No, he already said. No, I would say also I think people just yeah, I would say with it what anything else you can legalize pedophilia, prostitution. Okay, that's a good thing.
No, it's not.
I mean,
you can
because it's adultery essentially.
But if it's consensual,
this is just me. Okay, but consensual would define. Okay, no, this is way too long actually. One thing I would legalize maybe is driving without seatbelts, because essentially, if you're a dumbass, you're gonna avoid using a seatbelt. It's your choice if you die. It's kind of that Korwin-Mikke argument.
Right now, the fake love.
So guys, thanks for today. Next time, actually, we're gonna have to talk about this kind of crap, because this is way more interesting than political stuff.
And one day we're gonna need to talk about Brexit.
And one day about China. I want to hold convo on China.
Okay, guys. So this was the convo with my guests. Oh, actually, co-host. Fine, I'll give you.
Co-host.
So what is your name, guys?
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week, Marco.
Yeah, but I want to just last comment. Don't say co-host, because it's co-host.
And what is that?
It's related to communism. Co-host.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch.
That's a bit of a
Oh,
stretch.
damn it.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks, guys. It was Adam. Bye.